Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ju ki Jai. Shri Govinda Gopinath Maran Mohan Ju ki Jai. Jai Shri Gaur Gadadhar Ju ki Jai. Jai Shri Radha Madhav Ju ki Jai. Jai Nityal Vishtum Vishnupad Ashuttarashata Shishimar Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj Śrīla Gurudeva ki Jai. Nityal Vishtum Vishnupad Ashuttarashata Shishimar Bhakti Vedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Nityal Vishtum Vishnupad Ashuttarashata Shishimar Bhakti Vedanta Trivikram Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Nityal Vishtum Vishnupad Ashuttarashata Shishimar Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Śrīla Prabhupada ki Jai. Nityal Vishtum Vishnupad Ashuttarashata Shishimar Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Nityal Vishtum Vishnupad Ashuttarashata Shishimar Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki Jai. Nityal Pavishta Śrīla Saccidānanda, Nityal Pavishta Vaishnav sorry guys, my brain is not working. Nityal Pavishta Mahabhagavat Śrīla Gaura Das Babaji Maharaj ki Jai. Nityal Pavishta Saptam Goswami Śrīla Śacīnandana Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura ki Jai. Jai Śrīla Śacīnandana Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura ki Jai. Jai Nityal Pavishta Vaishnav Sarva Bhoma Śrīla Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki Jai. Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga ki Jai. Jai Nityal Pavishtam Vishnupad Ashuttarashata Shishimar Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Nityal Pavishtam Vishnupad Shishimar Bhakti Balavatirtha Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Nityal Pavishtam Vishnupad Shishimar Bhakti Dait Madhav Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Nityal Pavishtam Vishnupad Śrīla Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Nityal Pavishtam Vishnupad Shishimar Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. All the associates of Jagadguru Śrīla Prabhupada ki Jai, and all the disciples and all of the followers of those associates ki Jai. Everyone coming in our Bhaktivinoda-gīti-dhārā ki Jai. Jai Śrīla Baladev Vijibhushan Prabhu ki Jai. Śrīla Vishwanath Chakravarti Ṭhākura ki Jai. Shri Narottam Srinivas Shyamananda Prabhu Trai ki Jai. Śrīla Kṛṣṇa Das Kaviraj Goswami Pad ki Jai. Śrīla Kṛṣṇa Das Kaviraj Goswami's Chaitanya Charitamrita ki Jai. Jai Śrīla Vrindavan Das Ṭhākura ki Jai. His Śrī Caitanya Bhagavat ki Jai. Jai Shri Rup Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jīve Gopal Bhatta Das Raghunath Sharda Goswami Prabhu ki Jai. Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda ki Jai. Swaparshad Shri Gaura Nityananda Prabhu ki Jai. Jai Shri Sarup Damodar Jai Namacharya Śrīla Haridas Ṭhākura ki Jai. Prem se kaho Shri Kṛṣṇa Caitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Shri Kshetra Mandal Gaura Mandal Vraja Mandal Mathura Vrindavan Dham ki Jai. Jai Abhinna Vrindavan Shri Navadip Dham ki Jai. Jai Shri Mayapur Yogapit ki Jai. Jai the house of Shachi Mata and Jagannath Mishra ki Jai. Jai Shri Jai Sarva Abhishta Pradata Giriraj Maharaj ki Jai. Shri Radha Kund Shama Kund ki Jai. Shri Yamuna Devi Ganga Devi ki Jai. Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki Jai. Shri Bhakti Devi ki Jai. Shri Purnamasi Yogamaya ki Jai. Shri Gopishwar Mahadev ki Jai. Jai Shri Swaparshaji Gaurahari ki Jai. Jai Shri Prema Purushottam Shri Śacīnandana Gaurahari ki Jai. Jai Shri Shachi Mata ki Jai. Shri Jagannath Mishra ki Jai. Shri Vishwarup ki Jai. Shri Nityananda Mahajan ki Jai. Jai Shri Vishnu Priya Devi ki Jai. Shri Lakshmi Priya Devi ki Jai. Jai Shri Ishan Thakur ki Jai. Vangshi Vadadananda Thakur ki Jai. Jai Shri all the associates of Śacīnandana Gaurahari ki Jai. Jai all the associates who appeared before Mahaprabhu ki Jai, and that were present during Mahaprabhu's time and after Mahaprabhu's time. All our Guru Varga, all these associates of Mahaprabhu ki Jai. Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai. Jai Shri Gaura Pūrṇimā ki Jai. Jai Shri Gaura Pūrṇimā, the Mahotsavas, all the festivals all over the world ki Jai, and all the devotees participating in these festivals ki Jai. Jai Shri Harinama Sankirtana ki Jai. Shri Hare Kṛṣṇa Mahamantra ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai. Samagata Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Shri Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Haribol. And Śrī Caitanya Shikshashtak ki Jai. All the songs of Śrīla Saccidānanda Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura ki Jai. Jai Shri Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Haribol. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranams, everybody. We're going to do a Mangala Charan, but just 1 second. I want to quickly finish. I need to make. Here, I'll let you see what I'm doing. All right, so just making this MailChimp post. I was doing it right, and then I noticed I was already like way past time for me to start, and so then but I'm going to be sending this out. If you want to get this email that I'm sending out right now with the Mahaprabhu, the Shri Gaura Janma Lila Kirtan, if you want to get that in your inbox, I'm going to be sending it out right now on the Gaudiya Kirtan mailing list at gaudiyakirtan.com. Jai Śacīnandana Gaurahari. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, we've just begun. Okay, if you'd like to join us now, actually, you can use this link. We'll be going live. Okay. Okay, I think this is good. I'm sending this out right now. So everybody will get this in their inbox. Okay, so we will do the Mangala Charan. Let me change the subject. And comments. There. Okay. Now I'm sending this out. Sorry. Thank you for being patient with me. Send now. All right. Done. Okay. Now it's going to go out. Okay. And then we'll do the Mangala Charan. Send now. Hopefully that's an okay email. All right. So what are we going through now? Let's go through the Mangala Charan. Just opening that up. Let's go through both Mangala Charans. We'll go through the Chaitanya Bhagavat Mangala Charan and also the Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Mangala Charan, since we're commencing our Bhaktivinoda-gīti-dhārā program today. Okay, just finding it here. There it is. All right. Thank you, everybody. Ajñānatimirandasya Jnānanjana-śalakaya Chakshurunmilitam yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Shri Siddhanta Saraswati Tividito Gaudiya Gaurvanvaye Bhato Bhanuriva Prabhata Gagane Yogora Sankirtanai Maya Varati Mingilo Daragatan Udritya Jiva Niman Krishna Prema Sudabdi Gahana Sukhang Pradat Prabhung Tang Bhaje Vande Bhaktivinoda Śrī Gaura-śakti-svarūpakam Bhakti Shastragya Samrajang Radharasa Sudhanidhim Namo Bhaktivinodaya Saccidānanda Namane Gaura-śakti-svarūpaya Rupanugavarayate Śrī Caitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Svapadantikam Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Vrishabhanusutan Vitavamatanung Yamuna Tatanagarananda Sutam Murali Kalagita Vinodaparang Bhajagodrumakanana Kunjavidum Smara Gaura Gadadhara Kelikalang Bhava Gaura Gadadhara Pakshachara Shrinu Gaura Gadadhara Charukhathang Bhaja Godrumakanana Kunjavidum. Let's recite some Mangalacharan prayers from Chaitanya Bhagavat now. We'll go through the Adi Khanda Mangalacharan because, here it is, because we will be reading from that today. For Adi Khanda, here. Okay, just gonna skip. This is how Chaitanya Bhagavat begins. This is actually the first verse of the Adi, Madhya and Antya Khandas. Ajanulambita bhujao kanakavadato Sankirtanai kapitaro kamalaya-taksho Vishvambaro dvijavaro yugadharma palo Vande jagat priyakaro karunavataro Namastrikala satyaya Jagannatha sutaya cha Sabhrityaya saputraya Sakalatraya te namaha Avatirna sakarunyo Parichinno sadishvaro Shri Kṛṣṇa Caitanya Nityanando dvau Bhrataro bhaje Sajayati Vishuddha Vikrama Kanakabha Kamalayate Kṛṣṇa Varajanu Vilambi Shadbhujo Bahudha Bhakti Rasabhinartaka Jayati Jayati Deva Kṛṣṇa Caitanya Chandro Jayati Jayati Kirtis Tasya Nitya Pavitra Jayati Jayati Bhrityas Tasya Vishveshamurter Jayati Jayati Nrityang Tasya Sarva Priyanam. So, in the beginning, Adye, that means in the beginning, Adye Śrī Caitanya Priya Goshtir Charane Ashisha Prakare Mor Danda Paraname. So, Śrīla Vrindavan-das Thakur, he begins his Chaitanya Bhagavat with those Sanskrit verses that we just went through, and he says, in the beginning, I offer unlimited obeisances to the feet of the loving, confidential devotees of Lord Śrī Caitanya. Tabe Vando Śrī Kṛṣṇa Caitanya Maheshwar Navadvipe Avatar Nama Vishvambar. Then, after offering obeisances to the loving confidential devotees of Lord Chaitanya, then I offer my obeisances to the Maheshwar, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Śrī Kṛṣṇa Caitanya. He descended to Navadvip, and he is known as Vishvambar. Tavaevasmi, and now this is my Gurudev in all of his classes. He would always recite these two prayers that we're going through now. Tavaevasmi, Tavaevasmi, na jivami tvaya vina, iti vegyaya devi tvang, nayamang charanantikam. Bhaktya vihina aparada lakshai, Kshiptascha kama ditaranga madhye, Kripa mai tvam sharanam prapanna, Vrinde namaste charanāravindam, Vrinde namaste charanāravindam. Bhaja Shri Kṛṣṇa Caitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Shri Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ju Ki Jai. Jai Ho. Haribol. Dandavat Pranams. Well, first of all, I'm offering my Dandavat Pranams again and again at the lotus feet of my Śrīla Gurudev, Nitya Lila Pravishta Shri Śrīmad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. And I offer my pranams at the feet of his dear God brothers, especially Śrīla Bhaktivedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj and Śrīla Bhaktivedanta Trivikram Goswami Maharaj. And to my Śrīla Gurudev's Gurudev, my Param Gurudev, Śrīla Nitya Lila Pravishta Śrīla Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, and to all of my Param Gurudev's God brothers, especially Śrīla Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who is like my Śrīla Gurudev's very close friend and Shiksha Guru. Then, so I offer pranams to their God brothers, and also I offer pranams at the lotus feet of Śrīla Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada, at the lotus feet of Śrīla Saccidānanda Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura, and of all the acharyas coming, all the gurus, all the prominent Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis, and all the devotees coming in this line of Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura on this most auspicious day of the appearance of Śacīnandana Gaurahari. And I offer pranams also to all the devotees who are watching right now, and all the devotees who will be watching in the future. So the devotees who are here right now, let's see. I see Lola Mataji, Dandavat Pranams, Chattamai Mataji, and Anadi Kṛṣṇa Prabhu. And on YouTube and Facebook, I'm just checking out. 1 second. I see there's Pramila Didi, Haribol, and Krishna Mai Didi, Vidyalalasa Didi, and Kishori Mohan Prabhu. He says, already back to daily morning classes? Well, I thought, and I see there are 9 devotees there right now. I'm not ignoring any of you. If you write, I just see a number. There are 9 devotees right now. But if you write a comment, then I will see who you are. But pranams to all 9 of you, whoever you are. And also pranams to all the devotees watching in the future, like Shachi Devi, Jayadev Prabhu, Krishna Vallabha Didi, Ananda Pradayani Didi, Anuradha Mataji. I don't know who else will be watching. Krishna Mai Didi is already there. Who else? I don't know. But pranams Madan Gopal Prabhu maybe, and all the other devotees watching in the future. Maybe Vrinda Didi. Yeah, pranams to all of you. All right. Oh, and Chandrika Didi, Haribol, Hare Krishna. All right. So, yeah, I decided to start our program, our Bhaktivinoda-gīti-dhārā program today, even though I don't know what the program is going to be like today, because we'll see what Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura, like what they inspire, because as you can tell, I'm not prepared. Which doesn't matter. I thought most important thing is that I just thought it would be so nice and auspicious for our program if we start on this day of the appearance of Śacīnandana Gaurahari, which for all of us is the real New Year. It is 2020. What is it? 2026 is nothing for us. But what is the New Year for us? It's Gaurābda 540. It is the year 540 for us, and the resolution I'm making on this day is every day on this Gaurābda 540. I'm not sure if every day I'm going to try as much as I can to go through Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura songs every day on this online program at 7 a.m. And so everybody's welcome to join me. I also want to have lots of guests on. I'd love for Kishori Mohan Prabhu to join a bunch more times if he can, Manju Lali Didi, and there's so many different people. Also, if anybody has suggestions of people I should invite on. And this program is not going to be like the Bhaktivinoda-gīti-dhārā program that we did just before, where we were trying to go through, like, cover all of his songs within 5 weeks. This one is not going to have any time limit. We will just take... If we want to spend a few days on one song, great. However much time we want. There's no agenda, no timeline, no deadline, and so we'll go through all of Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura songs one by one, and we will begin by going through Śaraṇāgati, because we always have to begin with Śaraṇāgati. It's at this, if we go through the entrance of Śaraṇāgati, then with these songs of Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura, if we give special attention and emphasis on these songs, then that opens up the door to all of Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura's other songs. Then we'll be able to go much deeper into the other songs if we have that platform that he set for us of Śaraṇāgati. So today, just so that we'll have commenced the program today, we will go through the first song of Śaraṇāgati, the introduction song, Śrī Caitanya Prabhu, Jīve Dayā Kari. But as we know, these songs are not just, they are so special, so they are so high, and they're transcendental. And anything that's transcendental can't be accessed by our material senses, right? It can only be bestowed upon us by the mercy of Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura and all of those who are fully in this Bhaktivinoda-dhārā, this current of Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura, our Guru Varga. They can give us access to the moods of these songs of Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura. So the most important thing is that we pray to these divine personalities. and we pray to Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura. We pray to Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura's prayers. We pray to the prayers that we may be able to, that by going through them every day, and if we approach them in a mood of surrender and with a simple heart and praying for their mercy, that slowly, gradually, particle by particle, the moods and these songs will enter our hearts. And this is fully possible. Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura, he didn't have to write the songs. He could have just been absorbed in all these, in his bhajan chanting, but he wrote these songs so that we could have a glimpse at his bhajan, so that he could take us by the hand and help us on this path. So these songs are not just something that we sing when, like at a program, and when it's very nice. That's also a very special thing to sing these songs with, with a group of devotees, like that's actually wonderful. But also these songs aren't just for that, not just for singing at programs, but they are meant to be our what guides us in our devotional practices, what guides us in our life all throughout the day. When we're going, we can meditate on these songs. When we chant japa, instead of our minds leading my japa, we could have Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura himself leading our japa. They're so powerful. They can completely transform our devotional practice. And if our devotional practice is transformed, our lives are transformed, right? So this program, maybe some days I'll prepare something nice and we could have and some days will be kind of like what we're doing right now. It'll just be whatever, but it doesn't matter. Every day Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura's songs will be in our day somehow. We'll give some attention to these songs, and hopefully over time they'll become a bigger part of our lives and a bigger part of our lives until we're just all the time immersed in Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura's songs. And that's our aim in this program. And I have ideas of things that I would like to try out in these programs, and I'd love to hear your ideas. I'd love to I'll talk about it later. We recently had this Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura retreat, which I want to tell you about later. It was amazing. And in that retreat, I tried doing a Bhaktivinoda Bhaktivinoda-gīti-dhārā program, but it was a workshop. It wasn't just like where I'm speaking, but it was very, it was a workshop, which means people had to do work. So it wasn't just passively listening, but there were parts where we had to journal, where we had to think about the things, where we had to discuss things with others, where we had to come up with plans about how to apply Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura songs in our lives. And there's like many different things like that. And actually my dream is that over time we can develop this workshop more and more with the help of all of you. Like we could all develop it together. And I want to put together lots of resources and activities, and I want to and summaries and all sorts of things that would be helpful for and then make it into like a curriculum that could just go out into the public and anybody can use it, anything that they want from it. And we can make, I also want to do different Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura workshops, like where we're just focused on, like one can be an overview of all of Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura songs and then focus on sections of his songs. And so we could have like a 5-day program going through Namashtak, all of his Namashtak songs. We could have a 5-day program going through his Nagar Kirtans, or things like and I don't know. This is just my dream, but over time we can make all these workshops and programs and like that, and make it freely available to everyone, so that other people in different sanghas in different countries, they could also use whatever they find helpful, like whatever materials they find helpful, and then these Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura workshops and these programs just focused on his songs will become popular and all over the world, and then everybody will start to make Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura's songs a big part in non-negotiable part of their day, every day. That's anyways, but this would only be possible if that's their desire, and if they give their blessings, if our Guru Varga, that's what they want, and they give their mercy, then this will become possible. So it's all in their hands. But That's just the ideas that were coming to my head. All right, so and after we go through the song Śrī Kṛṣṇa Caitanya Prabhu Jīve Dayā Kari, then we will read maybe from Chaitanya Bhagavat, maybe also from Chaitanya Charitamrita. We'll read about Mahaprabhu's appearance. Today's program will go overtime. I'm not going to, I don't want to go, maybe I'll try to keep it under 2 hours. But I'm just letting you know, today's going to be an extra long day because, well, it's Gaura Pūrṇimā and we're starting this program. But after that, I want to be, since it's a daily program, I want to be respectful of everyone's time. So I'll try to keep all the programs under 1 hour. Or maybe if we have a special guest on, then sometimes, sometimes I'd like to give them extra time if they want a little extra time. But generally, I'll try to always keep the program under 1 hour. We're just going to be going through one song a day. So, or sometimes maybe, I don't know. I'm not making any rules for this program. This program, we'll see what feels most appropriate and do that. So, I sent this out yesterday, this verse out on my Gaudiya Kirtan mailing list, just because, I don't know, it was late at night and I just wanted to put some words from our acharyas, and I really like this verse, and it's on our screen now, so why don't we just recite it? It's from Śrīla Prabodhananda Saraswati's Śrī Caitanya Chandramrita, verse 50. Because, right, Śrīla Vrindavan Das Ṭhākura was saying, first we offer pranams to the associates of Mahaprabhu, and then we offer pranams to Mahaprabhu. So this is a prayer. What is it? The glories of associating with Śrī Caitanya's devotees. What's the meter for this? Is okay, Shardula Vikritita, which is same as Shargosamyashtakam. Sopyascharya Maya Prabhur Nayanayor Yanna Bhavar Gocharo Yanna Swadi Hare Padambujarasas Tad Yad Katam Etavan Mamatavarastu Jagating Yedhyapyalankurvate Śrī Caitanya Pade Nikhata Manasas Taryat Prasangotsava. So Śrīla Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur is saying that supremely astonishing Lord Shri Gaurahari was not visible to me. And Śrīla Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, in his Bhav Anuvad of this verse, he says, because I am like a demon, and therefore, I forgot exactly what he wrote, but he writes what Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur was feeling. I can't remember exactly, but he does mention this. We had to shorten it to make room, but so he didn't put all that. But he says, due to my inability to truly perceive him, because we know Mahaprabhu stayed at the house, right, for 4 months during Chaturmasya there in South India. Prabodhananda Saraswati had Mahaprabhu's, but he says, Gaurahari was not visible to me due to my inability to truly perceive him. And because of this, I never tasted the ambrosia of Sri Hari's lotus feet. He's saying in his humility, whatever was meant to happen has happened. So whatever has happened has happened. But now I have one prayer. May I attain the joyous festival of intimate association with those whose minds are completely immersed in Śrī Caitanya's lotus feet, and who decorate the earth even today. I love this verse also. I'll just read the translation. This is also from Chaitanya Chandramrita. He says, until you have seen the lotus feet of a beloved devotee of Śrī Caitanya, any talk of Brahma and impersonal liberation will not taste bitter. The fetters of social and Vedic convention will not loosen. And the noisy wrangling among scriptural scholars on various external paths will continue to rage on. But once you've seen the lotus feet of a beloved devotee of Śrī Caitanya, all that goes away. All right, so let's look. I'm just going to look on what we did on our original Bhaktivinoda-gīti. No. Okay, let's see our original Bhaktivinoda-gīti-dhārā program that we did a couple years ago, or 2 or 3 years ago. How did we start it off? I think I started off with a glorification of Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura. Let's see. That would be nice to read. Ooh, and we have these words on Śaraṇāgati. Okay, let's use this. And then what's this? Commencement of the Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura program. Okay, I thought today was also an appropriate day, well, because our only access to Mahaprabhu, especially for us, is Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura. Without him, we have no hope of having any access to Mahaprabhu. So, how do I make this disappear? Sorry. Open. I don't want to open an aside thing. That's so annoying. Wait, let's see. Maybe if I click on it here. No. That's so weird. Anyhow, sorry about that. Here, this will work. That's better. Okay. So, this is an excerpt from Follow the Angels, Part 3 by Śrīla Bhakti Rakshak Śrīla Goswami Maharaj. So we'll begin this program with glorifying Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura. So Śrīla Śrīla Goswami Maharaj says, "We are warned against thinking that Gurudev has mortal qualities. Prabhupada, in his ideal conduct, has shown this to us, how much earnestness one may have for Gurudev. We have seen this in his practice, in his ways and advice. Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura was completely awakened within him. Everything for Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura." Wow. Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura was completely awakened within Śrīla Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. Everything for Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura. What high kind of realized conception Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura has given us. We should not think that he has acquired this knowledge in one lifetime. It may seem, from the ordinary events of life, that this was the natural development of Jnana Shunya Bhakti. In his youth, Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura had some other tendencies. He married twice, right? Because his first wife passed away and then he married again. Still, that does not negate that he is an eternal servitor of the Lord. Otherwise, such intensity and such depth of feeling cannot come abruptly. Prabhupada saw him as the representation of Gadadhar Pandit. He saw Gaura Kishore as Swarup Damodar and Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura as Gadadhar Pandit. Gadadhar Pandit disappeared on Amavasya during the dark moon. Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura also passed away under the dark moon. Prabhupada has written, Gadadhar din dhari payacho Gaurahari. Prabhupada noted something common to Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura and Gadadhar Pandit, that they disappeared on the same day. In this connection, Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura received the grace of Śrī Gauranga. Bhaktivinoda is a favorite of his. He is a favorite of Śrī Gauranga's. Prabhupada has revealed this. In another place, he wrote that the eternal pastimes are always going on in Navadvip Dham. Sometimes they are underground, invisible to us, and sometimes on the surface. Sometimes they're underground, sometimes on the surface, but they're always going on. Nitya Lila always is invisible to us. Now suddenly, these two personalities have come to the surface. Gadadhar Pandit and Swarup Damodar. They've come to the surface. Before they were invisible, underground. Now they have come to the surface. Both have come. Swarup Damodar came as Gaur Kishore, and Gadadhar Pandit came as Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura. This is not to be given expression in any and every place. This is concealed truth, not to be expressed everywhere and anywhere. This is the fact. But we're reading this here because all of us here are coming in this line of Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura. But this shouldn't be, if there were some people, the public here, then we shouldn't disclose this. This is only for us. It should not be expressed everywhere and anywhere. This is the fact. They are always here, continuing their own function, their participation in the Lila of Gauranga. Sometimes it is underground, sometimes overground, but it is always difficult to recognize them. Prabhupada wrote, I suddenly found Swarup Damodar as Gaur Kishore and Gadadhar Pandit as Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura. They most graciously gave me that sort of vision. I could see them as two Parshads, the eternal companions of Gauranga. I found that. It is mentioned in the conclusion to his Chaitanya Charitamrita Anubhashya. So he writes there, here in Navadvip Dham, the eternal pastimes are going on continuously. Only those who have got that deep vision can perceive it. Gadadhara Mitravara Śrī Svarūpa Damodara Sada Kala Gaura Kṛṣṇa Jaje Jagatera Dekhi Klesh Dhoriya Bhikshu Kavesh Aharaha Kṛṣṇa Nama Bhaje Shri Gaur Ichai Dui Mahima Ki Kabo Mui Aprakrita Parishada Kata Prakata Hoya Seve Kṛṣṇa Gaura Bhinna Deve Aprakashya Kata Jatatata. Prabhupada says, it is very difficult to perceive the sweet will of Sri Gauranga. But if we can lift ourselves to that level, we see that Swarup Damodar Goswami and Sri Gadadhar Pandit are always engaged in their service here in Navadvip. Sometimes it is suppressed, and sometimes it is appearing on the surface. In that plane, all is going on by the sweet will of Sri Gauranga, without any restriction. But now I find that those two have appeared on the surface as Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji and Srila Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura. I have seen it with my own eye of divine service. But this, what does he say? He says, Aprakashya Kata Jata Tata. This kata is aprakashya. Aprakashya. It should not be just revealed. Jata Tata means here and there. People will laugh at it, but this is my heartfelt conclusion. We are the children of a limited soil. We are the children of a limited soil. We are children of the limited aspect of the world. Many things are impossible for us. We are accustomed to think that everything is impossible. Only that with which I have acquaintance in my little experience is possible. Other things are all impossible. We are trained to think like that. But if we think about the infinite, it is just the opposite. Anything and everything may be possible, bad or good. In the transcendental world, the goodness, the sweetness has no end. And there are different gradations. In this, we have to make advancement, progress. That thought comes pratyaksha, apratyaksha, adhokshaj, aparoksha, and aprakrita. These are the different levels, right? Pratyaksha, what we have he says, these are the 5 layers of knowledge. Pratyaksha is where we are awake now. Pratyaksha means what we perceive. I think aksha means eyes, right? And prati means directly perceiving with our eyes. So what we perceive on this with our physical senses in this world right now. That's pratyaksha. That's where we are awake now. And then paroksha. That means para means beyond our aksha, beyond our perception. So that's, in the higher realms, we can't perceive the heavenly planets, and even the higher realms in this material world, we can't perceive that. So that's paroksha. That's right. We consider the sense experience of others. Oh, sorry, never mind. Paroksha means others' perception. Yeah. Okay. So we consider the sense experience of others as part of our knowledge. But then aparoksha is beyond that. Is beyond what we directly perceive ourselves or what others perceive. Aparoksha. This is independent of all our experience. And there we faint. That is samadhi. We cannot feel our low environment, but only our personal consciousness in slumber, deep slumber. Only personal consciousness is present without any conception of the environment. And then, by the grace of the higher worlds, when they take us in there, we wonderfully have some experience of the transcendental world. It is by their grace, by their mercy, not as a matter of right. That is the highest stage. So now that's beyond, what is it? Pratyaksha, paroksha, then aparoksha, and then aprakrita. That's the transcendental world, Vaikuntha, Goloka, Vrindavan. That is the highest stage, aprakrit. Very similar to this, my world of experience. It seems the same in many ways, but it will hold the highest position of existence and sweetness in every way, harmony and ecstasy. This world is a perverted reflection of that, right? So, I shall feed you amply. You won't be able to taste it all. Such sweetness is there in an unlimited way. I can say very easily, give up everything you have. What do you have? You have nothing. Your experience and the wealth you have, janma, mritu, jara, vyadi, birth, death, old age, and disease, all will pass. They will leave you. They will disappoint you in the next moment. So you have nothing. Give up the attraction for the present environment. Come, jump desperately to come near me, and I shall give you shelter. You will be compensated amply. This is the call of Kṛṣṇa in the Bhagavad Gita. Mahaprabhu instructed also, give up everything. Take the name of the Lord and prepare yourself to go to home. You are not created for trifling in this dishonorable life. Your home is there. You are in the midst of the cremation grounds. And if you like, you can go there to that honorable land. Save yourself from the cremation grounds. Save yourself and try to attain your inner fulfillment and the worth of your existence there. And the thing about these songs of Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura are that when we are there, we are in the cremation grounds. We are suffering in this world, janma, mritu, jara, vyadi, birth, death, old age, disease, and all these attachments and all these, we're just suffering in all these different ways, being pulled here and there, and it almost feels like we don't have any control over anything. We're just being helplessly dragged. But Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura's songs, they are, in the words of Śrīla Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, he says that these words of Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura are a golden bridge by which the mental speculationists and all those who are being tossed about in this ocean of material existence where they can cross over this. It's a golden bridge. I had Gemini help make me let me see if I can find it. I had Gemini help make a image that here. I had a few different versions made, but this is just to give here. Okay, I gave it a prompt and then I had it. So, and this is actually based on, well, this part was based on a quote from Śrīla Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. But we're being tossed about in this ocean of suffering, of this world, this ocean of material existence, with all our attachments and all. We're just being pulled by the modes of the three modes of material nature, like that. And see this ocean here. Is it possible to swim across that? These massive waves just tossing us all about. So Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura's words, and in our program, I'm just saying his songs, but his songs will meet us wherever we're being tossed about, however low we have fallen. If our head is just stuck in the mud and we feel like we're at our lowest point, Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura's songs can come and meet us wherever we're at, when we need them the most. If we approach them in a mood of, like, I'm depending on I'm depending on you, and we approach them with a mood of humility and submission and that mood of dependence, then those songs act like a golden bridge so that we can get out of wherever we're being tossed about. We can get on that safe bridge. And these songs, they bring us all throughout this whole pathway. The first, we have to enter through the entrance, which is Śaraṇāgati. And that is that's the entrance and our foundation. This taking shelter. This is establishing us in our sambandha with Kṛṣṇa, right? It always begins with the sambandha, knowing who I am, who my Lord is, what our relationship is. Understanding that my eternal nature is to love Kṛṣṇa. This is what's dormant, laying within me. And it needs to be awakened by the mercy of Guru and Vaishnavas. By the mercy of Guru, my nature of being a servant of Kṛṣṇa, of loving Kṛṣṇa, this will be awakened. So this happens at Śaraṇāgati, taking shelter. Then once we go through this entrance there, then we have to make steps on this path. And so Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura and our partner on this path, the unavoidable partner that we can't get away from, is our minds, right? Our mind is with us all the way till the very end. At the very end, then he'll leave us. But right now, we are stuck with this mind. And our minds can either be our worst enemy or our greatest friend. Our minds can become a friend. So Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura, so that we can make steps on this path of bhakti, Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura has given us so many different instruction songs. That's upadesh. This is how I categorize Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura's songs for the Bhaktivinoda workshop thing, the Bhaktivinoda-gīti-dhārā workshop thing that we did. So, like half of Kalyana Kalpataru and so many other sections are songs of upadesh, and mostly they're instructions to the mind, how to turn our mind from an enemy into a friend. And every single anartha that we struggle with, Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura has given us a song for that, so that we have the exact medicine that we need for every single anartha. And then there are also the daily songs of Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura, like what we sing when we first wake up in the morning. Vibhabhari Shesha Aloka Pravesha, the Mangalarti song, Bhale Gaura Gadadhara Arati Nehari. What else? There are the then when the sun begins to rise, then we have the beautiful song Udila Aruna Purava Bhage and Jīve Jago. And then there's all the Nagar Kirtans as we're going about our day, when we're going out into the public, all the Nagar Kirtans. Then as when we're feeling hungry and it's time for lunch, then all of a sudden he gives us the beautiful Bhajabhakata Vatsala Śrī Gaurahari, of that delightful pastime of so we're going to go through all these songs in this program. And then throughout all the times of the day, there's the Arati songs. There are the Mahaprasad songs, 6 songs for every single preparation that we eat. There's a song for, first before we honor prasad, we have Sharira Avijajal, and then when we eat any green leafy vegetables. Shak, we have the pastime of Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu eating in Advaita Acharya's house. There's a whole song for eating spinach. There's a whole song for all the different items, like when Shachi Mata cooked for Madhavendra Puripad, and then what Madhavendra Puripad said to all the sannyasis, that he's glorifying her cooking. How Kṛṣṇa directly tasted this. How fortunate. Everything that the yogis do, all these hard austerities, that's all attained just by taking one bite of this prasad of Shachima. It's a beautiful song. So for eating all the different items. And then for eating sweets, there's a song of all the devotees, Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, Srivas Thakur, and all the devotees eating sweets in the home of Gauridas Pandit. Gauridas Pandit. And then there's a song about Mother Yashoda and Rohini serving out all these milk preparations to Kṛṣṇa and all the sakas. There's a song about Jagannath Khichdi. I really love the Khichdi song. But yeah, so all these daily songs Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura has given us, so that even if I don't have taste for anything transcendental, or I gravitate towards listening to non-devotional music, watching non-devotional YouTube videos, doing all that. But even for somebody like me, he gave it so that at specific times of my day, I have a song meant for that specific time, so that he gives these beautiful, sweet pastimes for me to remember. And then there are the lalasa songs. This is I think the heart of all of Śrīla. Well, actually, lalasa, this longing, this yearning is contained in all of Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura's songs. But then he has also given us specific songs which are just really highlighting this lalasa, which has the word kabe. So many songs by Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura that has this word featured all throughout them. Kabe, kabe, kabe. When, oh when, when, oh when, when, oh when. And the majority of those songs are actually to Guru and Vaishnavas. And then there are also many to Gaur-Nitai, and then the Siddhi Lalasa songs. There are actually many categories of Lalasa songs. We'll go through that. But there's the Shanta Dasya Bhakti Sadhan Lalasa, the songs of Yamunacharya, the Yamuna Bhavavali. Then there's the Bhajan Lalasa, which is the songs of Upadeshamrita, and also the 4 songs to Guru and Ohe Vaishnav Thakur. Then there is the Prarthana Lalasamai in Kalyana Kalpataru. Then there's Siddhi Lalasa. These are the Lalasa of those who are on the stage of Bhav, praying, yearning for rendering various services to Radha and Kṛṣṇa under the guidance of Rupa Manjari, and like very high songs like that. Those are the Lalasa for those on the stage of Bhav. And then there's Seva Lalasa. There's all these different lalasa songs by Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura, and that's what in this image here. So the upadesh is the steps that we make, and it's also the railing on this path so that we don't fall off the path. And then the lalasa is this, I don't know, this magical, it's kind of looks like fire there, but I don't know, it's what gives us the impetus. It's what gives us the excitement to what I have waiting in store for me if I just keep sticking to this path, and this is what's waiting for me, and this is what gives us the enthusiasm to keep, it gives us the energy. It's the life of all the prayers of Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura songs. And then this brings us to Nam. That's the goal. And Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura has given us so many Nam Kirtans. And they're so diverse. All of the Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura songs, actually, those 2 songs are the same. They are very diverse and different. And there's a bit under 300 songs. So, you can just get lost in his songs. And if you, the more time you spend with them, the more you become familiar with all these different songs, the more we just have this endless world of his absorption, of his bhajan, that we can just get lost in, so that all our practices are and also the thing is, the more time you spend with Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura's songs, the more they give you, and the more you'll begin to understand new things, and you'll be able to make new relationships with them, and they'll help you in different ways, and they'll become, each word will become more and more dear to you. It just becomes more flavorful and more juicy, and more the more we keep on approaching them. And so, and so all the songs, they bring us to Nam. It ends with Nam. It is the means and it is the goal. And then within Nam, when we don't block Nam from entering our hearts, if we are not making offenses and we're following this process, then Nam will not be blocked and it will be able to enter our hearts. And once it enters our hearts, it comes back out. Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura explains in the song Kṛṣṇam Dhari Kotobal, it comes out from our heart. Once it's touched our heart, then it comes out from our heart and it comes into our mouth, and then it dances on our tongue. And then when it dances on our tongue, then our feet can't remain still either. Then our feet begin to dance. And then we start to go through all these ashtasattvic bhavs. And then the name, which is like a bud, begins to open more and more. First, it's a bud. That's the whole stage of sadhan. But then as we perform our sadhan, it slowly begins to unfurl. It's a bud of prem. And as it opens a little bit, then all of a sudden, the name reveals its gun. The name reveals the roop, the beautiful form of Kṛṣṇa. And we perceive Kṛṣṇa's form. And in the song for that, for perceiving Kṛṣṇa's form, Janama Safalatar, at that point he says, Na chale charan. Before, the Nam was making his feet dance, and then at seeing Kṛṣṇa's roop, then the feet can't move. I become still. I become stuck motionless. And then the name opens up a little more. That flower of prem opens up a little more, and then we perceive Kṛṣṇa's gun. And at that point, the name takes us to Kṛṣṇa, and we have these visions of Kṛṣṇa. This is a stage of bhav, right? We have these momentary visions of Kṛṣṇa, and we start to begin. We're connected to Kṛṣṇa but sometimes these visions will go away. So then, when the name fully opens, that's when we've attained vastu siddhi, and that's when he says Kṛṣṇa pashe rakhegi. Then he keeps us at Kṛṣṇa for eternity. The name destroys our material body so that we are eternally in Kṛṣṇa's pastimes. That's Vastu Siddhi. That's when the name's fully opened up to us. And so that's why the name is the goal. Everything comes from the name. And that's all beautifully explained in that song, Kṛṣṇam Dhari Kotobal. And in other songs also. So this is, all of Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura's songs can loosely be put into these 5 categories. There's the foundation of Śaraṇāgati, the practice of Upadesh, instructing our minds, making our mind our friend, and these daily songs, and the impetus that keeps us wanting to move, which excites us, which makes this process from being a struggle to making us just fly up this path. That's the lalasa, this longing. And everything brings us to the goal, which is Nam, which reveals everything else, which reveals who we are, which gives us the service, which destroys our material body, all this. So all of this is Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura's kirtans. But if we do not go onto this golden bridge of Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura's songs and go through the entrance of Śaraṇāgati, and we try to climb up the side of this mountain, we try to just jump into the Siddhi Lalasa songs, we try to climb up the side of the mountain, then we will inevitably fall down. So we can't avoid going through this entrance of Śaraṇāgati. So that's why we are beginning this new Bhaktivinoda-gīti-dhārā program going through Śaraṇāgati. So let's go through the first song. Let me just open it up here again. I think I have it here. We'll go through it quickly today because I've already spoken way too much. I wasn't actually planning on going through all of that just now, but wasn't planning on anything, so so let's open up Śrī Kṛṣṇa Caitanya Prabhu Jīve Dayā Kari. Jīve Dayā. And I think we'll go through it, we'll go through the song a little bit today, but we'll also go through it in more depth tomorrow. Okay, let's see if that brings it up. There it is. Śrī Kṛṣṇa Caitanya Prabhu Jīve Dayā Kari. So this is how Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura introduces Śaraṇāgati. So Śrī Kṛṣṇa Caitanya Prabhu Jīve Dayā Kari. So Jīve Dayā Kariya means out of Dayā, compassion for the Jīvas, for all the living beings in this material world. This Śrī Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Prabhu, he is avatariya. That means he has descended. Saha means with, Swaparshad, with all of his associates, and Sviya Dhamma, and with his own Dham, his own divine abode. So Kṛṣṇa, he doesn't have any reason to come to this material world. There's nothing lacking in the eternal realm, in the eternal Dham. Sometimes people might think, oh, Kṛṣṇa has to come to this world so that he can kill demons. He can't kill demons in the spiritual world, right? Or so there must be some lacking there, right? Because he performs pastimes here that he doesn't perform in the Nitya Lila. But no, there is no lacking there. This is clear in many verses. There's verses in Srimad Bhagavatam that describe this. My Srila Gurudev would emphasize this point, that there's nothing lacking in the eternal realm, the Nitya Lila. The only purpose is that he comes to this world is to give mercy to the Jīvas. All his pastimes in this world is only for our sake, for our benefit. What is it? He says in Gopinath Mama Nivedana Shuna, what is it? Jīvera karane asya prapanche lila koile suvistar. It's only for the purpose of the Jīvas that you come to this prapancha, this material world of 5 elements, and you expand your pastimes here. Only for the Jīvas. And you don't come alone, but you come with your own dear associates. Mahaprabhu, there's such beautiful descriptions in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Bhagavat, of all the associates of Kṛṣṇa, and all the different avatars of Kṛṣṇa, all of Krishna's different expansions, so followers of Ramachandra, of Nrsimhadev, of every avatar, all these associates have come, and there are many associates. It goes in Chaitanya Bhagavat, it explains all the associates that appeared before Mahaprabhu and associates that appeared during the time. Like, there's so many beautiful descriptions of these associates. And we begin by taking shelter of these associates, right? And then Sviya Dhamma, his own Dham, has also descended to this world. First, always Baladev Prabhu, this Sandini Shakti, always makes the platform for Krishna's pastimes. He always, before Kṛṣṇa appears anywhere, Baladev Prabhu comes in. First, Baladev Prabhu enters the womb of Devaki and makes the platform for Kṛṣṇa. Then Kṛṣṇa comes after in the womb, right? He's always coming first. And he manifests as the Dham, and even all the bodies, all of existence. That's all Baladev Prabhu. And even within our own hearts, first Baladev Prabhu, and it was represented by Sri Guru, will clear everything else, make all the impurities within our heart, and will clean it, and then manifest, make a place, our heart clean, so that Kṛṣṇa can enter there. And then once the heart is fully clean, once all these anarthas are gone, then Samvit and Hladini can come into our hearts. But first, the Sandini, he's also the Adhar Shakti. He's the container potency. He makes it so that our hearts can contain, can have this platform by which the Samvit and Hladini can enter there. This Chid Ananda. And also, anyways, there's more to say at this, but we can go deeper into this tomorrow. So then, why did Mahaprabhu come here for the sake of the Jivas? Like, what? Okay, we know that he's come here out of compassion for the living beings. But then what? He came here in order to bestow the extremely rare treasure of Prem Bhakti. Right? We know in Chaitanya Charitamrita explains the 4 reasons for Mahaprabhu's descent. There's 2 of his own reasons, his personal reasons for coming here, and 2 reasons for us, for the Jivas. No, that's for him coming as Mahaprabhu, not for coming to this world. But still, But yeah, one of the primary reason that he came to this world for us is Rag Marg Bhakti Loke Korite Pracharan, right? To give the path of this Rag Marg Bhakti, this prem, this love of the Vrajavasis. This is Atyanta Durlabh prem. It's extremely rare that even Brahma, Shiva, can't attain. All the demigods can't attain. It's the most rare treasure. And he came to give this to everyone freely. But the thing is, Kṛṣṇa doesn't mess with our independence. That's the jewel, right? There's Swadhinata Ratnadane. He has bestowed this gem of independence. This is our greatest jewel that we have, that we can choose to serve Kṛṣṇa or not to serve Kṛṣṇa. But then when we do choose, this is the most beautiful thing ever. This is what makes a relationship. But Kṛṣṇa can't force us to accept this treasure of prem bhakti. Otherwise, that would be messing with our independence. And so, the only way he can get us to actually accept this treasure that he wants to give us is through this Śaraṇāgati, this process of taking shelter. And so he taught this Śaraṇāgati, Shikaya Śaraṇāgati, which is the Bhaktir Pran, which is Bhakta Pran, which is the life and soul of the devotees. Any practice that we perform in our spiritual life which is not filled with Śaraṇāgati, if we are trying by our own efforts and we don't have this mood of surrender, dependence, taking shelter, then our practice will be dead. Our chanting will be completely dry. It will have zero life in it. There will only be life in any practice we perform if it's done with Śaraṇāgati. So everything begins with Śaraṇāgati. Then that's what gives us life. So in the Lakshmi Tantra, chapter 17, verse 60 to 61, there's the famous verse that explains the sixfold process of Śaraṇāgati. And here it begins with Anukulyasa Sankalpa, Pratikulyasa Vivarjanam. So acceptance of that which is favorable for bhakti, rejection of that which is unfavorable, and then faith in Krishna's protection, acceptance of the Lord as one's only maintainer, submission of the self, and humility. That's the sequence in the Lakshmi Tantra. But Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura, he flips that sequence. Right? Like instead of the last thing being humility, he makes the first thing humility. And the favorable and unfavorable things, he moves that to the very end. He completely flips it around. And why is that? This is just like the thoughts that came to my head. But we always have to begin at the platform of humility. Actually, the cause of why we make aparad, which is the aparad is the root of all our struggles in our spiritual life. That's the root of all of our anarthas. That's what makes us block Nam from actually being able to enter us, is the aparad's the blocking thing. And so, but all of that happens because we're very proud. If we were actually humble and we genuinely regarded everybody, like we were able to, we had true humility and we were honored the Vaishnavas, then we would never make offenses. Everything begins from the platform of humility. There's that famous quote of Srila Gaura Govinda Goswami Maharaj. He would say this in different contexts, but that Guru Vaishnav Mahajan are patita pavan. They are not kapati pavan. They are deliverers of the fallen, those who are actually accept what their position. They're honest, and oh my God, I have nothing. I have no ability. I'm completely fallen. Like they give mercy to those people, to the patit, but not to the kapati, not to those who are the hypocrites, the deceitful, those who act like they're really great, even though actually we're very fallen. So it begins from humility. Then we can receive mercy. And from that platform of humility, if you feel like, I'm good, I can depend on my own efforts, then we won't be able to accept help because I don't need anybody's help. I can do it on my own. If we have that pride. But from the platform of humility, and then I'm so fallen. I have no ability. I have no qualification. I need your mercy. Then from that platform, then we can submit ourselves. Then we can Atmanivedan. And then once we submit ourselves, then we can choose to accept the Lord as my only maintainer. And this is actually the Angi. This is the main body of Śaraṇāgati. And all these others, Danya, Atmanivedan, all these other 5 are the limbs of this main body. This is like the root, and all the rest are the branches coming from this root. This Goptrite Varanam, which means I choose you. You are my maintainer. Nobody else is my maintainer. I don't depend on my own efforts. I don't depend on any other person. I am now choosing you. I've made an active choice that you are now my maintainer. And then once we've done that, then we'll feel that I have nothing to fear. Because avashya rakshibe Kṛṣṇa vishvas palan. Palan means we will nurture this firm vishvas, this firm faith, this firm belief that avashya rakshibe Kṛṣṇa. Kṛṣṇa avashya means certainly rakshibe will protect me. And then once we're at this point, we've embodied this humility, we've submitted ourselves, we accepted the Lord as my only maintainer, we've accepted the Lord, we embraced the Lord's guardianship, and now we have no more fears. We see joy in all 4 directions like that. Then we can accept all the things that are favorable for bhakti. Then everything in bhakti all of a sudden becomes joyful and a big festival. And we hear this the song Shuddha Bhakata, how for somebody who's actually embodying these previous 4 angas of Śaraṇāgati, then everything becomes a festival. But what is the root of that? Shuddha Bhakata Charanarenu. When we accept the dust of the Shuddha Vaishnavas, then all of a sudden, Akarashi, these titis, Madhav Titi Bhakti Janani, we see, oh, this is the mother of devotion. And Gaura Amar Jesabastani, I will go to all these places of Mahaprabhu in the company of the loving devotees. And when I hear the sound of the mridangas, my heart dances with joy when I hear, Ananda Hridaya Nache. And when I see the Ganga, when I eat the shak that's so dear to Mahaprabhu, I feel my life is successful. When I see Tulsi Devi, I feel my life is completely soothed and cooled. And when I, like all these, everything in bhakti, I see bhajan being performed in my home, and my home becomes like filled like Vaikuntha itself. When I see the murti, all these, everything favorable for bhakti becomes the most exciting, delightful festival for us. And automatically, bhakti pratikul bhav varjanangikar, we will reject everything, any pratikul bhav, that means any attitude that is unfavorable to bhakti. Not just the things that are unfavorable to bhakti, but any attitude that is unfavorable to bhakti. And so, when somebody embodies these 6 angas of Śaraṇāgati, then Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura says, the son of Nanda Maharaj hears that person's prayers. Sharanga Śaraṇāgati hoy be jahar. Tahar prarthana shune Śrīnanda Kumar. Śrīnanda Kumar shune, he hears tahar prarthana, the prayers of him, of he or she, who Sharanga Śaraṇāgati hoy be jahar. Those people in whom these 6 angas of Śaraṇāgati are present, who embody these 6 angas of Śaraṇāgati. So what about me? I don't fully embody each one of these 6 angas of Śaraṇāgati. So does Kṛṣṇa hear my prayers? Maybe not. Kṛṣṇa has a lot more important things to do. He's playing with all the Vrajavasis. And if I'm calling out to him, and I don't actually mean it, I'm not calling out with humility or this self-submission, or without accepting him as my guardian, or without faith that he's going to protect me, and without accepting things. If I'm just calling out to him without any sincerity, without any Śaraṇāgati, is he going to listen to me? No. And so, well, that kind of sucks. Like, well, then what's the point of, I thought I'm supposed to pray, but if he's not listening to me, then why should I even try, right? Well, the next verse in this song explains to us what the process is. Yeah, Kṛṣṇa is not going to hear me directly when I'm not surrendered. But there's no reason to give up hope. Because Rupa Sanatana Pade Dante Trinakori Bhaktivinoda Pade Duhu Padadori. Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura explains to us what we do in our state when we're not surrendered. And actually, this is what we do in every state, even when we are surrendered. But especially at every step of bhakti, we have to fall at the feet of Śrī Rupa and Sanatan with straw between our teeth. That means in a mood of humility, in a mood of this feeling, I am patit. You are patita pavan, and I'm patit. You are the deliverers of the fallen, and I'm dependent on your mercy. And if we approach them with this straw in our teeth, this mood of humility and surrender, and we prostrate ourselves in front of them, we fall. Pore means we fall down at their feet, and padadori, we embrace their feet. And Rupa Sanatan, that means our whole Guru Varga. They are all the representations of Rupa and Sanatan. Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura has a song, Hari He Śrī Rupa Gosai Śrī Guru Rupe Te Shiksha Dila Morakane. Śrīla Rupa Goswami has come to me in the form of Śrī Guru, and he has whispered this instruction in my ear. Jano Morkata Namir Kangal Ratipab. And then he gives a beautiful song, but that's how he introduces it. So for us, Śrī Gurudeva is a representation of Rupa and Sanatan. So taking shelter, holding onto the feet, embracing the feet of Rupa and Sanatan, our entire Rupa Nuga Gauriya Guru Varga, our Śrīla Gurudev. And what does it mean to embrace their feet, to hold on to them? That means to hold on to their instructions. That's how we actually hold on to them. Otherwise, we're not holding on to anything. We can't actually, and we're far away from them. The way we hold on to them is by, in a mood of humility, approaching these words of Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura. We hold on to Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura's feet by holding on to the words of his songs also. And then he already, even within the introduction song, he already begins with Dayā. He's already started the Śaraṇāgati process, right? So at the feet of Rupa Sanatana, embracing their lotus feet, Kandiya Kandiya Bole, weeping, Śrīla Bhaktivinoda, he says, Amito Adham, I am the lowest of the low. Amito Adham. Shikaye Śaraṇāgati. Please, O Rupa Sanatan, O Śrīla Gurudev, please Shikaye, please teach me this Śaraṇāgati. And thereby, Koro he Uttam, and make me topmost. Right now, I am Adham. I am the most fallen, but make me Uttam, make me the topmost, make me into a Vaishnav by teaching me this unconditional surrender. So that is the introduction to Śaraṇāgati. And with this introduction, by holding onto the feet of Śrī Gurudev and praying like this, now we can begin going through the rest of the songs of Śaraṇāgati. So I'm not sure if tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, or one of these days, we'll go through the first song of Dayā, which is Bhuliya Tomare. And that's the thing with these Śaraṇāgati songs, that they're so we see that each one of these angas of Śaraṇāgati have so many different moods. Like Dayā, there's so many different moods one feels in this humility. And so every prayer brings out a different flavor of this Dayā. And by singing these prayers over and over again, then we can start to see, okay, this is how we do it. This is how I become surrendered. So he makes it so clear for us how to actually follow this process of Śaraṇāgati. He makes it as easy as possible to follow this process of Śaraṇāgati. So we have nothing to worry. He's given us all the assets we need, all the resources. All right, so that is our introduction to Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura's songs, this Bhaktivinoda-gīti-dhārā program. And now we have, half an hour left. Now we will read a little something about Mahaprabhu's appearance. So what should we read? Let's open up Chaitanya Bhagavat. Śrīla Vrindavan Das Thakur. Think, because we don't have so much time, I'm not going to read the Bengali. Maybe we can read some Bengali verses. But let's see. Where is it? And that was a very brief, like going through the song very briefly. We'll go through this Śrī Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Jīve Dayā Kari tomorrow. And we'll go through it. We'll look at Śrīla Bhaktivinoda-gīti-dhārā Goswami Maharaj's, his explanations of the verses. How come I can't find it? Oh, there it is. Sorry. It's been a while since I've opened this up. Alright, this is a massive file. Let's see, it might take a little while to open. Okay. So we're going to skip chapter 1. We already went through the introduction verses of chapter 1. Let's go to chapter 2. So this explains the appearance of Mahaprabhu. Let's type in 2.1. 2.1. Okay, here. So this is the Lord's appearance. Jai Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura ki Jai. Actually, before we recite this, let's just go through one Mangala Charan verse. One verse glorifying Vrindavan Das Thakur. Oops, wrong one. Here it is. Okay. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami wrote like 40 verses or something like that, glorifying Śrīla Vrindavan Das Thakur and Chaitanya Bhagavat all throughout Chaitanya Charitamrita. Let's just recite one though. Sahaje vichitra madhur Chaitanya vihar Vrindavana dasamukhe amriter dhar. By nature, all the activities of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu are very wonderful and sweet. And when they are described by Śrīla Vrindavan Das Thakur, they become like a shower of nectar. Jai Śrīla Vrindavan Das Thakur ki Jai, Śrī Caitanya Bhagavat ki Jai. Jai Jaya Mahaprabhu Gaura Sundar, Jai Jagannatha Putra Mahamaheshwar. All glories to Mahaprabhu Shri Gaura Sundar. All glories to the son of Jagannath Mishra, the Lord of all lords. Jaya Nityananda Gadadharer Jivan, Jaya Jaya Advaitadi Bhakter Sharan. All glories to the life and soul of Nityananda and Gadadhar. All glories to the shelter of the devotees, headed by Advaita Prabhu. Bhakta Goshti Sahita Gauranga Jai Jai, Shunile Chaitanya Kata Bhakti Labhya Hoy. All glories to Lord Gauranga, along with his associates. By hearing the topics of Śrī Caitanya, one attains devotional service to the Lord. Sounds like they're starting a program in the temple room right now. Puna Bhakta Shange Prabhu Pade Namaskar, Spuruk Jivai Gaura Chandra Avatar. I again offer my obeisances at the lotus feet of Śrī Caitanya and his devotees. Let the topics of Śrī Gaurachandra become manifest on my tongue. Jaya Jaya Śrī Karuna Sindhu Gaurachandra, Jaya Jaya Śrī Seva Vigraha Nityananda. All glories to Śrī Gaurachandra, the ocean of mercy, the ocean of compassion. All glories to Nityananda Prabhu, the personification of devotional service. He is the Seva Vigraha. Right? From the very beginning to the very bottom of existence, Baladev Prabhu and Nityananda Prabhu is serving. There's a beautiful explanation of that anyways, but let's continue on. Avigyata tattva dui bhai ar bhakta, tatapi kripai tattva korin subhyakta. Although the truths of the two brothers and their devotees are incomprehensible, they can be realized by the mercy of their lordships. Brahmadir spurti hoy Krishner kripai, sarva shastre vede bhagavata eghai. The knowledge of personalities like Lord Brahma is enhanced by the mercy of Lord Kṛṣṇa. This is confirmed in all the scriptures, such as the Vedas and the Srimad Bhagavatam. And now he's giving evidence from, where is that? From Srimad Bhagavatam. This verse, Prachodita yena pura saraswati. I'm going to read now just the translations because we have a lot to get through. So, may the Lord, who in the beginning of the creation amplified the potent knowledge of Brahma from within his heart and inspired him with full knowledge of creation and of his own self, and who appeared to be generated from the mouth of Brahma. So may that Lord be pleased with me. In the beginning of creation, Lord Brahma was born from the lotus sprouted from the navel of Lord Vishnu. Still, he had no power to see anything. When Brahma took full shelter of the Lord, then out of compassion the Lord appeared before him. Then, by the mercy of Kṛṣṇa, Brahma received transcendental knowledge so that he could understand the various incarnations of the Supreme Lord. Lord Kṛṣṇa's incarnations are his... The word incarnations is not actually a good word. Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura didn't like it. Because incarnation, the dictionary definition is not appropriate for the word incarnation. What is it? A person who embodies in the flesh of a deity, spirit, abstract quality. So see, that's not, there's no flesh. So let's say Krishna's avatars are very difficult to understand. Who has the power to understand them without his mercy? In the Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord Brahma concludes that the pastimes of Krishna's avatars are inconceivable and inaccessible. And this is in Srimad Bhagavatam. It's Srimad Bhagavatam 11, 14, 21. So this is Brahma's prayers. He says, O Supreme Great One, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, O Super Soul, Master of all mystic power, your pastimes are taking place continuously in these three worlds. But who can estimate where, how, and when you are employing your spiritual energy and performing these innumerable pastimes? No one can understand the mystery of how your spiritual energy acts. Who has the ability to know why Kṛṣṇa descends to this world? Still, Vrindavan Das Thakur is saying, still, I am giving whatever reasons are described in the Srimad Bhagavatam and the Bhagavad Gita. So then these famous verses, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. Whenever and wherever there is a decline in religious practice, O descendant of Bharata, and a predominant rise of irreligion, at that time I descend myself. To deliver the pious, then paritranaya sadhanam vinashaya dushkritam, to deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants, as well as to re-establish the principles of religion, I myself appear millennium after millennium. Whenever there is a decline in religious practices and irreligion becomes more and more prominent day by day, at that time the demigods headed by Brahma pray at the feet of the Lord to protect the sadhus and destroy the miscreants. So Vrindavan Das Thakur continues. He says, the Lord then appears in this material world with his associates and paraphernalia in order to re-establish the principles of religion. The religious principle for the age of the Dharma, for the age of Kali, is Hari Sankirtan, the congregational chanting of the holy names of the Lord. Śrī Śacīnandana he descends to establish this principle. And as we know, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he gives 4 reasons for Mahaprabhu's descent. 2 are Mahaprabhu's own reasons for himself, and 2 are for us. So the reasons for himself are, there's a secondary and primary reason for himself, and a secondary and primary reason for us. I don't know what order to say it in, but whatever. Let's just do it. His primary reason for himself, his own personal primary reason for coming, is to taste these 3 things of Srimati Radhika, right? To know the glories of her love, the sweetness that she tastes in experiencing him. What sweetness in him does she taste? And what's the last one? One is Pranay Mahima, then Madhurima, Adbhuta Madhurima, to taste that, and then and what does she experience in her tasting my love? So those 3 things, those are Mahaprabhu's primary personal reasons for appearing as Mahaprabhu. And then there is his other personal reason, the secondary personal reason, which is to answer the call of Advaita Acharya, who is his own expansion, right? So that's also a personal reason, because Advaita Acharya is also an expansion of like that. So who's Mahavishnu and also Sadashiv. And then, so that's his personal reasons. But then what reasons for us? There is also 2 reasons. The primary reason for us is to give that Atyanta Durlabha Prem Kori Varidan, right? Like we just read in the introduction to Śaraṇāgati. But then, to give this path of Rag Marg, Bhakti Loke Korite Prachara, to preach, to propagate to the inhabitants of this world this path, this Marg, the path of Rag, of this loving attachment that the Vrajavasis have for Kṛṣṇa, this insatiable thirst for Kṛṣṇa, this attachment, that's Rag. So that he came to give this. That's the primary reason for us. And then the secondary reason for us is, well, it's time to establish the Yuga Dharma. And so, usually it's Kalki's duty to establish the Yuga Dharma for this age, but Mahaprabhu is now doing it. And he's giving the Yuga Dharma in an unparalleled way. In this, he's giving not just the process for the age is kirtan, right? Of Kali Yuga. That's always the process for that age. But he's giving us a special kirtan that's imbued with this prem nam sankirtan. So these are the 4 reasons that Mahaprabhu descended to this world in this Dhanya Kali, in this blessed age of Kali. So it is stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Vrindavan Das Thakur is saying, that the Supreme Absolute Truth, Lord Gaurachandra, he descends to propagate the chanting of the holy names. One second. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. Oh God, I can't skip ahead of this. Sorry, let's just read. O King, in this way the people in Dwapara Yuga glorified the Lord of the universe. In Kali Yuga also, people worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead by following various regulations of the revealed scriptures. Now kindly hear of this from me. And now this verse, Kṛṣṇa Varnam Trisha Kṛṣṇam Sango Pangastra Parshadam Yagyai Sankirtana Prayar Yajanti Hi Sumedasaha. This verse, I've just been learning about it in a completely new way from Sundar Gopal Prabhu. Simon Haas, Sundar Gopal, he explained this verse in such a deep, amazing way. It's not his explanation. He was telling about how Srila Jiva Goswami, he begins his sandarbhas. He needs, whenever you begin a big work, you have to have your Mangalacharan verse. And the first Mangalacharan verse is the most important, and so he thought very carefully, what verse do I want to be the beginning of these sandarbhas, which is one of the most vast literatures ever that we have in our Gaudiya family. So he chose this verse, Kṛṣṇa Varnam Trisha Kṛṣṇam, from Srimad Bhagavatam. And the way that Srila Jiva Goswami explains it is amazing. We only have 10 minutes, so I'm not gonna. So at some point, I want to go through Srila Jiva Goswami's explanation of this. It's different than anything we've ever heard. Baladeva Vibhushan, we usually explain it according to how Baladeva Vibhushan explains it, which is also very beautiful. But Jila Jiva Goswami's is also very unique. So, anyways, at some point we'll go through that. Okay, so I'm skipping ahead. Lord Chaitanya inaugurated the congregational chanting of the holy names as the essence of all religious practices for the age of Kali. In Kali Yuga, the Lord descends with his associates in order to maintain the religious principle of Sankirtan. On the order of the Lord, all of his associates took birth in human society. Ananta, Shiva. Is the sound really loud? Let me see. They're doing it loud kirtan in the temple. Let me just noise removal. There. Okay. Ananta, Shiva, Brahma, various sages, and the associates of all the Lord's previous avatars all took birth as great devotees. Only Gaura Kṛṣṇa knew which associate took birth as which devotee. Some took birth in Navadvip, some in Chattagram, some in Radhadesh, some in Orissa, some in Srihatta, and some in the West. And so these are many devotees of the Lord. So Gadadhar Pandit, Jagadananda Pandit, Pandit Sadashiv, Gangadas, Shuklambar, Sridhar, Purushottam, Sanjay, Hiranya, Jagadish, they all appeared in Navadvip. Śrīla Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada is explaining. Pundarik Vidyanidhi, Vasudev Datta Thakur, his brother Mukunda Datta, they appeared in Chattigram. In Radhadesh, Nityananda Prabhu appeared, and Satyaraj Khan, Ramachandra Vastu, they appeared in Kulina. Sri Mukunda, Narahari, Raghunandan, Chiranjeev, and Sulochan, they appeared at Sri Khanda. Many devotees like Govinda, Sri Madhav, Vasudev Ghosh, Dvija Haridas, Dvija Vaninath Brahmachari, they appeared at Agradweep. In Orissa, there's Bhavananda Rai and his sons, so like Ramananda Rai and like that, and Sri Vaninath Gopinath, and Shiki Mahiti, Madhavi Devi, Murari Mahiti, Paramananda Mahapatra, the Orissa Shivananda, Prataparudra, Kashi Mishra, Pajumna Mishra, and so many other devotees appeared in Orissa. And so, although the devotees appeared in different places, they all gathered in Navadvip. Most of the Vaishnavas took birth in Navadvip, and some beloved associates appeared elsewhere. Srivas Pandit, Sri Ram Pandit, Sri Chandrasekhar, they are worshipped throughout the three worlds. They, along with Sri Murari Gupta, who cures the living entities of their material disease, all took birth in Sri Hatta. We just went to Murari Gupta's place the other day. Anyways, okay. Pundarik Vidyanidhi, the topmost Vaishnav, Chaitanya Vallabha, and Vasudev Datta all appeared in Chattagram. Haridas Thakur appeared in the village of Budan. The Supreme Lord, Nityananda Prabhu, appeared in the village of Ekachakra in Radhadesh. The exalted Harai Pandit was the king of the Brahmanas. He was accepted as the father of Lord Nityananda, who is the original father of all. The ocean of mercy, the giver of devotional service, and the shelter of all Vaishnavas, Sri Nityananda Ram, appeared in Radhadesh. At the time of Nityananda's appearance, all the demigods secretly showered flowers and chanted, Jai, Jai. From that day on, the land of Radha began to prosper, and signs of auspiciousness became visible. Paramananda Puri, who enjoyed pastimes with the Lord in Nilachal, appeared in Trihuta. The banks of the Ganga are most sanctified. Why then would a Vaishnav take birth at an impious place? The Lord appeared on the bank of the Ganga, so why did his associates appear in distant places? Out of compassion, Lord Kṛṣṇa ordered his great devotees to appear in places where the Ganga does not flow, where the holy names are not chanted, and where the Pandavas did not visit, the Pandava Varjit Desh. Śrī Caitanya descended to deliver the entire universe. He has confirmed this with his own words. The Lord had his devotees who were equal to him appear at impious places and in impious families in order to deliver everyone. In whatever place or family a Vaishnava appears, people for hundreds and thousands of miles around are all delivered. Wow. Wherever the Vaishnavas go, that place becomes a sanctified place of pilgrimage. Therefore, Śrī Caitanya had his devotees appear in all different countries. Although the devotees appeared in various places, they all met together in Navadvip. Because the Lord would appear in Navadvip, the devotees all gathered together there. There is no place in the three worlds like Navadvip, where Lord Śrī Caitanya appeared. Knowing that the Lord would appear, Providence arranged all prosperity and opulence in advance. Who can describe the opulences of Navadvip? 100,000 people would take birth at one bathing god. By the merciful glance of Saraswati, the goddess of learning, hundreds of thousands of children, youths, and old people were expert in the scriptures. They were all proud of being great scholars. Even a young boy would challenge his teacher. Many people came from various provinces to study in Navadvip, because by studying there, one achieved a taste for education. Therefore, no one could count the innumerable students and millions of teachers gathered there. By the merciful glance of Brahma, the goddess of fortune, everyone lived happily there. But they wasted their time in mundane activities. The whole universe was devoid of devotion to Kṛṣṇa and Balaram, and future symptoms of the age of Kali became manifest in the beginning of that age. Yeah, things that were supposed to happen later on in Kali Yuga started to happen earlier in Kali Yuga. People's religion consisted of fruitive activities, and they would stay awake through the night chanting the prayers to Mangala Chandi and goddess Durga. Some people proudly worshipped Vishahari, the goddess of snakes, and others spent great wealth on idol worship. People squandered money on the marriages of their sons and daughters. In this way, they wasted their human lives. Even the so-called scholars, the Bhattacharyas, the Chakravartis, and the Mishras, did not know the real purport of the scriptures. And even after teaching the scriptures, the teachers still engaged in such activities. As a result, both the teachers and the students were punished by Yamaraj. They never explained the religious principle for the age, chanting the holy names of the Lord. They only found faults with others. They never glorified anyone. All the so-called renunciates and ascetics never chanted the names of Hari. Only the most pious people would recite the names of Pundarikaksha and Govinda at the time of taking bath. Even when someone explains Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam, they would not mention anything about devotional service to the Lord, which is like the whole purpose of those books. Seeing the entire world illusioned by the Lord's external energy in this way, all the devotees felt unlimited distress. They thought, how will these people be delivered? The whole world is simply absorbed in material enjoyment. People will not chant the names of Kṛṣṇa even if they are instructed. Rather, they constantly glorify their education and good birth. The great devotees, however, so Vrindavan Thakur says, the great devotees, however, followed their prescribed duties like worshipping Kṛṣṇa, bathing in the Ganga, and discussing topics of Kṛṣṇa. They all bestowed their blessings on the people of the world, and they prayed, O Krishna Chandra, quickly bestow your mercy on these people. Residing in Navadvip at that time was Advaita Acharya, the topmost Vaishnav, who is glorified throughout the world. Śrī Advaita Acharya was the most respected teacher. He was as expert as Lord Shiva in explaining the devotional service of Lord Kṛṣṇa with knowledge and renunciation. He explained all the scriptures that are found in the three worlds, and he concluded that devotional service at the lotus feet of Kṛṣṇa is the essence of all teachings. Krishna Pada Bhakti Sar. Śrī Advaita Acharya would enthusiastically worship Krishna with tulsi manjaris and Ganga water. He loudly called for Krishna in great spiritual ecstasy. That sound vibration pierced the covering of the universe and was heard in the Vaikuntha planets. On hearing Advaita Prabhu's cries of love, Lord Krishna personally appeared, for he is controlled by the love of his devotees. Therefore, Advaita Acharya is the best of all Vaishnavas. There is no comparison to his devotional service in the entire universe. In this way, Advaita Acharya resided in Nadia in great distress due to the people's lack of devotion. Everyone in the entire world was engaged in materialistic activities. No one was engaged in worshipping or serving Krishna. Some people worshipped Vashali, Chandi or Durga with various ingredients, and some people worshipped the yakshas with meat and wine. People would constantly dance, sing, and play musical instruments in great commotion, but they never heard the supremely auspicious names of Krishna. The devotees headed by Advaita Acharya were distressed on seeing the people engaged in so-called auspicious activities that were not related to Krishna. By nature, the heart of Advaita Acharya was full of compassion, so he mercifully contemplated how to deliver the living entities. If my Lord descends, then all these fallen souls would be delivered. My name, Advaita Singha, the lion like Advaita, will be justified when I cause the descent of the beloved Lord of Vaikuntha. I will make the Lord of Vaikuntha appear in this world, and we will dance, chant, and thus deliver the falling living entities. With this determination, Advaita Acharya constantly served the lotus feet of Sri Krishna Chandra with fixed minds. God, it's hard to read when the kirtan's so loud outside. Anyways, Lord Chaitanya repeatedly confirms that he descended to this world due to the desire of Śrī Advaita Prabhu. Srivas Pandit resided in Navadvip. Lord Chaitanya enjoyed many pastimes in his house. Vrindavan Das Thakur is talking about his grand uncle. Yes, his grand uncle is Srivas Pandit. Right, Srivas Pandit's older brother is Sri Nalin Pandit. And so Narayani Devi, the mother of Vrindavan Das Thakur, is the son of Srivas Thakur's older brother, Sri Nalin Pandit. Srivas Pandit and his three brothers continually chanted the names of Sri Krishna. They would take 3 baths daily in the Ganga and then worship Lord Krishna. Many other devotees lived incognito in Nadia. By the will of the Lord, Sri Chandrasekhar, Jagadish, Gopinath, Shriman Pandit, Murari Gupta, Sri Garuda Pandit, and Gangadas, they all took birth before the Lord. If I listed the name of all the devotees, this book would increase in size, so I will mention those names that I know at the appropriate time. So he's not going to mention all the names now. All these devotees were engaged in their prescribed duties. They were all magnanimous, and they knew nothing other than the devotional service of Lord Krishna. They all had friendly relationships with each other, although they were unaware of each other's identity. The hearts of these devotees burned on seeing the people of the world devoid of devotion to Lord Vishnu. Because they could not find anyone interested in hearing topics of Lord Krishna, they would engage in kirtan by themselves. They would remain together for a couple of hours. They would remain together for a couple of hours in the house of Advaita Prabhu and mitigate their distress with topics of Krishna. The devotees felt that the entire world was burning, and they felt sorry because they could not find anyone to speak with. Sri Advaita Acharya, along with other Vaishnavas, tried to preach to the people, but they could not understand anything. In distress, Advaita Acharya began to fast, and the Vaishnavas sighed deeply. People did not know why the devotees danced for Krishna or chanted his names. They could not understand who was a Vaishnava or what the purpose of Sankirtan was. People could not understand any of these things because their hearts were filled with desires for wealth and children. All the atheists would laugh at the Vaishnavas. Every evening, Srivas Pandit and his three brothers would loudly chant the names of Hari in their house. On hearing this chanting, the atheists would remark, "What madness! This Brahman Srivas will ruin this village." The Mohammedan king is very cruel by nature. If he hears about this kirtan, the whole district will suffer. Just because of Srivas, he'll make everyone else suffer. Someone else said, "I'll drive this Brahman out of the town. I'll break his house and throw it in the Ganga. If we get rid of this Brahman, then it will be good for the village. Otherwise, the Yavanas, the Muslims, will take over the town." Hearing the atheists speak in this way, the devotees began to cry and chant Krishna's name. When Advaita Acharya heard these things, he became as angry as fire. Neglecting whether he was dressed properly, he spoke to all the Vaishnavas. He said, "Listen, Srivas, Gangadas, and Shuklambar, I will make Krishna descend for all to see. He will personally come and deliver one and all by preaching devotional service with your help. If I fail to do this, then I will manifest 4 arms and take up my disc. I will sever the heads of the atheists, and then it will be confirmed that Krishna is my Lord and I am his servant." In this way, Sri Advaita Acharya constantly worshipped the lotus feet of Krishna with great determination. The other devotees also shed tears, as they all constantly worshipped Krishna with fixed determination. As the devotees wandered through Navadvip, they never heard any topics concerning devotional service. Seeing the people's pathetic condition, some of the devotees wanted to give up their bodies, while other devotees sighed deeply as they called out the name of Krishna and cried. The devotees became so unhappy by seeing the people's behavior that they lost their desire to eat. As the devotees gave up all material comforts, the Supreme Lord prepared to advance. Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Haribol Avatari Bare Prabhu Korila Udyog. Let's read this from this point on. This is so beautiful. Okay. So, Ishvar Agay Age Shri Ananta Dham Radhe Avatirna Hoila Nityananda Ram. By the order of the Lord, Shri Nityananda Ram, who is none different from Ananta, first appeared in Radha Desh. He appeared from the womb of Padmavati in the village of Ekachakra on the auspicious 13th day of the waxing moon in the month of Magha. The Lord, who is the original father of everyone, accepted Harai Pandit, the king of the Brahmanas, as his father. So before we describe the appearance of Mahaprabhu, we have to describe the appearance of Nityananda Prabhu. Lord Balaram, who is an ocean of mercy and the bestower of devotional... Lord Balaram is an ocean of mercy and he is the bestower of devotional service. He is the proprietor of devotional service, so only he can bestow it. Right? We can't. It's only through the mercy of Nityananda. You can't skip Nityananda Prabhu. Even if you're aspiring for Madhur Ras, you have to go through Nityananda Prabhu. So he appeared as Nityananda Prabhu. Invisible to humans, the demigods loudly chanted, "Jai, Jai," and they showered flowers. From that day on, the district of Radhadesh became filled with prosperity. There's a similar description of Vraj, how that became filled with prosperity when Balaram was there. Or no, wait. I might be thinking of something else. Anyways. But yeah, Radhadesh was a barren land, like a desert, and then all of a sudden Nityananda Prabhu appeared, and then all of a sudden it became filled with beauty and trees and like that. In order to deliver the fallen souls, Nityananda Prabhu accepted the dress of a mendicant and traveled throughout the world. This is a description of Lord Ananta's appearance. Okay, so now after explaining Ananta's appearance, Baladev's appearance, Nityananda Prabhu's appearance, now please hear how Krishna made his appearance. Ebe shuno Krishna avatarila Jenomate. Sri Jagannath Mishra lived in Navadvip. He was just like Vasudeva, and he was expert in following his prescribed duties. He was greatly magnanimous and the best of the Brahmanas. Indeed, I can find no comparison to him. All the good qualities of Kashyapa, Dasharath, Vasudeva, and Nanda Maharaj were found in the person of Jagannath Mishra. His wife was the most chaste Shachi Devi, the universal mother and personification of devotional service to the Supreme Lord. After all her daughters expired, the most fortunate Vishvarup appeared as her son. Sri Vishvarup was as attractive as Cupid personified. His mother and father were jubilant on seeing him. Vishvarup was detached from the time of his birth, and he realized the purport of the scriptures in his very childhood. As the entire world became devoid of devotion to Lord Vishnu, the future symptoms of Kali began to manifest in the beginning of the age. Wherever there is a decline in the practice of religious principles, the Lord incarnates. Knowing that the devotees were in distress, Lord Gaurachandra Mahāprabhu appeared in the bodies of Jagannath Mishra and Shachi Devi. As Sri Ananta loudly chanted, Jai, Jai, Jagannath Mishra and Shachi Devi heard the sound vibration as if it were a dream. Both husband and wife manifested brilliant spiritual effulgence, which common people could not perceive. Knowing that the Supreme Lord would appear, personalities like Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva came to offer prayers. All these topics are unknown throughout the Vedas. Of this there is no doubt. Now please hear with devotion the prayers offered by the demigods headed by Brahma. By hearing these prayers, one's mind becomes attached to Kṛṣṇa. We'll just read like 2 verses and then we'll continue on because we need to start wrapping it up. So, Jaya Jaya Mahaprabhu Janaka Sabar, Jaya Jaya Sankirtana Hetu Avatar. All glories to Sriman Mahaprabhu, the father of all living entities. All glories to the Supreme Lord who has descended to inaugurate the Sankirtan movement. All glories to the protector of Vedic principles, saintly persons and Brahmins. All glories to the personification of time, which destroys the non-devotees. All glories to the Supreme Lord who possesses a pure spiritual body. All glories to the fully independent Supreme Personality of Godhead. You are the shelter of innumerable universes, yet you have entered the womb of Mother Shachi Devi. Who can understand your supreme will? Creation, maintenance, and annihilation are simply part of your pastimes. For one who destroys the entire creation simply by his desire, can he not kill Ravan or Kamsa simply by giving an order? Still, he appeared in the house of Dasharath and Vasudeva in order to kill them. Therefore, my Lord, who can understand the cause of your appearance other than you yourself? By your desire, each one of your servants can deliver innumerable universes. Still, you incarnate, you descend to teach religious principles to all, and thus make the earth glorious. You yourself descend. O my Lord, in Satya Yuga you have appeared with a white complexion to preach the principles of austerity by your personal example. You wear a deerskin and carry a danda and a water pot, and you wear matted locks of hair. In this way you incarnate as a brahmachari to re-establish the principles of religion. You appear in Treta Yuga with a beautiful red complexion. Although you are the Lord of sacrifice, you set the example by engaging in the performance of sacrifice. You carry a sacrificial ladle and spoon in your hands, and you encourage everyone to perform sacrifice. In Dwapar Yuga, you appear with a transcendental blackish complexion that resembles a monsoon cloud. You preach the process of deity worship from house to house. You wear yellow cloth, and you are decorated with the mark of Srivatsa. As a great king, you personally demonstrate the process of deity worship. You appear in Kali Yuga as a Brahman with a golden complexion to inaugurate the congregational chanting of the holy names, the Sankirtan Dharma, which is unknown through the Vedas. Therefore, you are the source of innumerable avatars. Who has the ability to enumerate all of them? In the form of Matsya, you enjoy in the waters of annihilation. In the form of Kurma, you are the shelter of all living entities. In the form of Hayagriva, you save the Vedas by killing the original demons, Madhu and Kaitaba. In the form of Varaha, you deliver the earth. And in the form of Nrsimha, you tore apart the demon Hiranyakashipu. In the wonderful form of Vaman, you deceived Bali Maharaj, and in the form of Parshuram, you rid the earth of Kshatriyas. In the form of Ramachandra, you killed Ravan, and in the form of Balaram, you performed innumerable pastimes. In the form of Buddha, you exhibited compassion, and in the form of Kalki, you destroyed the Mlechas. In the form of Dhanvantari, you delivered nectar to the demigods, and in the form of Hamsa, you spoke on the absolute truth to Brahma and others. In the form of Narad, you carry a veena and sing your glories. In the form of Vyas, you explain the truth about yourself. In the form of Kṛṣṇa, your unlimited enchanting Gokul pastimes include those of all other incarnations. In this avatar as a devotee, you will invest all your transcendental energies in the performance of kirtan. The whole world will be filled with the sound of Sankirtan, and pure devotional service will be preached from house to house. How can we describe the happiness that this earth planet will enjoy when you dance along with your servants? The mere presence of those who constantly meditate on your lotus feet vanquishes all inauspiciousness. As such persons dance, the touch of their lotus feet destroys all the inauspiciousness of the world. By their glance, the 10 directions are purified. Such are your glories. Such is the dancing, and such are your servants, that when they dance with their arms raised, the disturbances in the heavenly planets are destroyed. Now he gives a quote from Padma Purana. He says, "My dear king, when Krishna's devotees dance in kirtan, they destroy the inauspiciousness of the earth by the touch of their feet, the directions by their glance, and the higher planetary systems by their upraised arms." Well, that would have been a nice verse to put in a songbook. O Lord, you will personally appear and perform kirtan with your pure devotees. O Lord, who has the power to describe your glories? You will distribute devotional service to Lord Vishnu that is unknown through the Vedas. You easily award liberation, but keep devotional service hidden. We have a desire to attain that devotional service, that atyanta durlabha prem. O Lord, you will freely distribute the treasure of devotional service throughout the world, simply due to your causeless mercy. By the chanting of whose holy names all sacrifices are performed, that Lord has now appeared in Navadvip. She tumi hoila Navadvip avatirna. O Lord, please be merciful to us, so that we may have the fortune to see your pastimes. The long cherished desire of the Ganga will now be fulfilled when you sport in her waters. You who are seen throughout the yogi's meditation as Yogeshwar will now be seen in the village of Navadvip. We therefore offer our respectful obeisances to Sri Navadvip, where the Lord appeared in the house of Shachi Devi and Jagannath. In this way, the demigods headed by Lord Brahma, they would daily offer prayers in seclusion. The Lord, who is the shelter of all universes, remained in the womb of Shachi Devi until the Gaura Pūrṇimā gradually approached. All the auspicious symptoms present throughout unlimited universes appeared together on that full moon night. Thus the Lord simultaneously appeared along with the congregational chanting of the holy names, which he inaugurated on the pretext of a lunar eclipse. Who has the power to understand the activities of the Lord? By his desire, Rahu covered the moon. When the inhabitants of Navadvip saw the eclipse, they began to chant the auspicious names of Hari. Millions of people went to take bath in the Ganga while chanting Haribol, Haribol. The whole of Nadia was filled with the sound vibration of the name of Hari. Indeed, the sound vibration filled the entire universe and beyond. Hearing this wonderful vibration, all the devotees remarked, "Let there be a perpetual eclipse. Let the eclipse never end." All the devotees said, "From the great happiness that we are feeling today, it can be understood that Kṛṣṇa must have appeared." All the devotees went out to take bath in the Ganga. The vibration of the name of Hari was continually heard from all directions. Whether one was young, old, woman, pious, impious, everyone was engaged in chanting the name of Hari while observing the eclipse. All one could hear was Haribol, Haribol. Thus, the name of Lord Hari was heard throughout the entire universe. The demigods showered flowers in all directions, and they played kettle drums, and as they chanted, Jai, Jai. Okay, now this is drum roll. He noi shamoy sarva jagata jivan avatirna hoilen Śrī Caitanya. At that very moment, the life of all living entities, Sarva Jagat Jivan, Śrī Śacīnandana made his appearance. Jai Śacīnandana Gaurahari ki Jai. And then Śrīla Vrindavan Thakur writes a beautiful song. Starts Rahu Kavale Indu Parakasha Nama Sindhu Kali Mardana Bhajebana. But I'm not sure if we can sing the song now. It's already 9:19. My God. So I'm just going to read the translation. So when the moon was covered by Rahu, when the ocean of the holy names was manifest, when Kali was subdued, and when the flag of victory was raised, at that time the Supreme Lord appeared, and the 14 worlds filled with the sounds of Jai, Jai. The happiness of the people of Nadia daily increased, and their lamentation was vanquished as they saw the moon-like Lord Gauranga. Kettle drums were sounded, hundreds of conch shells were blown, and flutes and horns were played. In this way, Vrindavan Das Thakur sings the glories of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu and Śrī Nityananda Prabhu. So that's the first song. Now the second song. And it's sung like this. Jini Aravikara Shri Anga Sundara Nayane Heri Nahi Pari. Oh, sorry. Nayane. Sorry, I'm feeling a bit tired now. The Lord's beautifully bodily features cannot be perceived, for they outshine the rays of the sun. His broad eyes, which are upturned at the ends, have no comparison. Due to the appearance of Sri Gauranga, in this world the sound vibration of Hari's name spread throughout the universe up to Brahmaloka. I just fell asleep. The Lord's broad chest is smeared with bright sandalwood pulp and decorated with a flower garlands. The Lord's sweet face is as soothing as the full moon, and his long arms stretch to his knees. All the living entities of the world are blessed to see Śrī Caitanya. Some dance, some chant, and some loudly exclaim, Jai, Jai. Kali, however, feels sad and laments. Oh, poor Kali. Śrī Caitanya is the crown on the head of the four Vedas, but sinful and foolish people cannot understand this. Śrī Vrindavan Das Thakur sings the glories of Śrī Caitanya Chandra and Śrī Nityananda Prabhu. And each one of these songs are in a different meter. Then, as Śrī Gaurachandra appeared, the 10 directions became filled with bliss. The Lord's beauty defeats that of millions of cupids. He laughs upon hearing his holy names chanted. The Lord's face and eyes are most sweet, and his body is decorated with the signs of a king. His lotus feet are marked with a flag and a thunderbolt. All his limbs attract the minds of all people. By his advent, all danger is vanquished, and all property is manifested. Did I say property? I meant to say prosperity. Accepting Śrī Caitanya and Nityananda Prabhu as my life and soul, I, Vrindavan Das, sing the glories of their lotus feet. Now the next song. Is this song 4? Hearing that Lord Chaitanya has descended, all the demigods became overjoyed. They are overwhelmed with ecstasy. They are overwhelmed with ecstasy on seeing the Lord's face, which destroys all misery. Ananta, Brahma, Shiva, and other demigods accept the form of human. They accept the forms of human beings, and they chant Hari Hari on the pretext of the eclipse. No one, however, can recognize them. The people of Nadia run in 10 directions while loudly chanting Hari Hari in the 10 directions. No, they're just running all over. Doesn't matter what direction. They're just chanting Hari Hari. The demigods and human beings mix together, and the whole of Navadvip is filled with ecstasy. Yes, Hare Krishna, you can open. All the demigods came to the courtyard of Shachi Devi and then offered their obeisances. Oh, Hare Krishna. Ah, Ekon Patrati. Hare Krishna, Dandavapana. तुम यहाँ हो आज यहाँ रहोगे हाँ सब्जी हमने ओ अ, देखो नीचे शायद मारवी मारवी oh shoot 1 second. I'm just sending a message really quickly. Hey Madhavi, I'm still doing my morning program, but the Oriya boys came to my room and they were asking where to cut sabji. I told them to go downstairs. Okay, all the demigods come to the courtyard of Shachi Devi and offer their obeisances. Due to the darkness of the eclipse, no one can recognize them. Such are the mysterious pastimes of Sri Chaitanya. Some demigods offer prayers. Someone holds an umbrella. Another waves a chamar. And some happily shower flowers. Others dance. And some play musical instruments. Lord Gaurahari descended along with his devotees. But the atheists did not understand a thing. Accepting Sri Caitanya and Nityananda Prabhu as my life and soul, I, Vrindavan Das, sing the glories of their lotus feet. Each one of these songs are sung in a different way. Like there's a different meter for each one of these songs. The demigods play kettle drums and dimdima drums, chant the auspicious sound of Jai, and sing in sweet melodies. The demigods think, today we will see the Lord who is unknown throughout the Vedas. Therefore, let us not waste time. In this way, the residents of Amaravati are in ecstasy, and an auspicious commotion arises as they decorate themselves to go see the Lord. Due to our great fortune, we will see Sri Caitanya in Navadvip. Being overjoyed on the birth of the Lord in Nadia, the demigods repeatedly embrace and kiss each other without reservation or consideration of whether one is a friend or a stranger. They're just going around to random strangers in Nadia and kissing them and embracing just strangers. They don't care who's who and just people are just being embraced by demigods without even realizing it. In this joyous condition, they come to Navadvip and hear the sound vibration of Hari's names from all sides. There, they taste Gaura's ecstatic emotions and become overwhelmed as they sing his glories. There, in Shachi's house, they see the beautiful form of Lord Gauranga, who resembles millions of moons combined together. And in the guise of human beings, and on the pretext of the eclipse, they all loudly chant the name of Hari. Sri Gaurachandra appears along with his energies, but the atheists could not understand a thing. Accepting Sri Chaitanya and Nityananda Prabhu as my life and soul, I, Vrindavan Das, sing the glories of their lotus feet. So this ends the translation of Chaitanya Bhagavat Adikanda Chapter 2, entitled The Lord's Appearance. And so maybe tomorrow we can read Chapter 3, The Calculation of the Lord's Horoscope. All right, so that's our program for today. We just went on for 2 hours, 20 minutes, and we'll end here. All right. I hope you all have a wonderful celebration today on Gaura Pūrṇimā Mahotsav. Jai. Jai. Jai Śacīnandana Jai Gaurahari. Jai Śacīnandana Jai Gaurahari. Jai Nityananda Ram. Jai Nityananda Ram. Nityananda Ram. Jai Nityananda Ram. Jai Swaparshara Jai Gaurahari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Haribol, 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 Nitai Gaur, Haribol, Nitai Gaur, Haribol, Haribol. Haribol, Nitai Gaur, Haribol. Jai Shri Śacīnandana Gaurahari Ki Jai. Jai Shri Kali Yuga Pavan Avatari Shri Śacīnandana Gaurahari Ki Jai. Shri Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Avadut, Nityananda Mahajan Ki Jai. Jai Shri गौर गदाधर जू की जय श्री राधा माधव जू की जय जय श्री गुरुदेव की जय जय श्री परम गुरुदेव की जय जय श्री प्रभुपाद की जय जय all the associates and disciples and followers of those associates of Srila Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada ki jai jai Srila Gorksharas Babaji Maharaj ki jai Srila Saccidānanda Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura ki jai jai Shri Rupanuga Gauriya Guru Varga ki Jai. The one who indicated the birthplace of Mahaprabhu, Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki Jai. Yeah, all Rupanuga Gauriya Guru Varga ki Jai. Swaparshad Shri Gaur Nityananda Prabhu ki Jai. Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopi Gana ki Jai. The house of Jagannath Mishra and Shachi Devi ki Jai. Shri Mayapur Yoga Pit ki Jai. Jai Śrīla Vrindavan Das Thakur ki Jai, Śrī Caitanya Bhagavat ki Jai, Jai Śrīla Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami Par ki Jai, Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita ki Jai, Abhinna Vrindavan Shri Navadip Dham ki Jai. All the associates of Mahaprabhu who appeared in all the different places, even inauspicious places and inauspicious families even, to deliver all these people. Ki Jai. Jai. All the Swapashad Shri Gaurahari ki Jai. Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai. Our Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura Gīti-dhārā program ki Jai. All of the songs of Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura ki Jai. Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai. Oh, of course, we have to say Jagannath Mishra ki Jai, Shri Shachi Mata ki Jai, Shri Vishwarup ki Jai, Shriman Nityananda Ram ki Jai, Shri Vishnu Priya Devi ki Jai, Shri Lakshmi Priya Devi ki Jai, Advaita Acharya ki Jai, the one who called Mahaprabhu, Advaita Acharya ki Jai, Shri Gadadhar Pandit ki Jai, Jai Srivas Thakur ki Jai, all the devotees of Mahaprabhu ki Jai. Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki Jai. The process for following the Mahamantra, Shri Chaitanya Shikshashtak ki Jai. Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai. Samagata Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. And the Gaura Pūrṇimā Maha Mahotsav ki Jai. And the festivals being celebrated all over the world in thousands of temples by hundreds of thousands, millions of devotees all over the world. Ki Jai. Jai Shinitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Vrindai Tulsi Devai Priyai Keshavashacha Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi Sattvatai Namo Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyaevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. I said Vishnu Priya, Lakshmi Priya, right? I think so. Yeah. All right. And all right, so that's our program for today. I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. I'm not going to go so overtime like I did today. Today, we're just, because it's such a special day, we have to give it at the proper time. I didn't get to go through Chaitanya Charitamrita description, but If you're on the Gaudiya Kirtan mailing list, you'll have that in your inboxes and you can read that on your own. That's the song that we sing during Abhishek. Um, Here in India, there is a eclipse from 3 p.m., well, 3:20 p.m., but we're going to start kirtan at 3 p.m., all the way till 6:48, I think. And so during the eclipse, you can't cook anything. And so in all the mats, all the Gaudiya mats everywhere, um, everybody's finishing the cooking, probably in ISKCON also, but everywhere, everybody's finishing the cooking by 3 p.m. And then they put tulsi leaves on everything so that during the eclipse, all the items that were cooked don't get contaminated. Um, so if the eclipse is happening where you are, that's what you can do. Another option is to wait until after the eclipse and then begin cooking. And still, you put tulsi leaves on all the things that you prepare for cooking. And then after the eclipse is finished, then you can. But it's not going to be practical for because usually after an eclipse, you have to take bath and you have to change your clothes and everything. But that's not going to be possible on like now because like at 6:50 the eclipse will end and everybody can't just all of a sudden go to the Ganga and then the Abhishek. And so what they're doing, everybody will be bathing in the kirtan that will be going on throughout the whole eclipse, the 4 hour eclipse. And but the pujaris have to take bath. So right after the eclipse, then the pujaris, the people doing the Abhishek, they will quickly take bath, put on tilak, and then the Abhishek will begin probably at around, if they can do it in 10 minutes, then the Abhishek will start at 7 p.m. And um, yeah, that's the program. All right. Dandavat pranams. Lola Mataji, Ashray Tattva Prabhu, Premavati Didi, Champak Mataji. Let's see on YouTube and Facebook. Pramila Didi, Krishna Mai Didi, Vidyalalasa Didi, Kishori Mohan Prabhu, if you're still there. And Champakalata is there. Champakalata. And I'm not sure if Pran Kishore Prabhu is there, but if he is, pranams to him as well. And Ganga Mataji and Kishore Mohan, he said, by Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura's mercy, we have received knowledge of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, so we must glorify him to receive mercy of Gauranga. Yes! That's why we're starting our program today on Gaura Pūrṇimā by glorifying Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura. Thank you for writing that, Kishore Mohan Prabhu. And Champakalata Mataji saying, what a lovely way to start Gaura Pūrṇimā by embracing the heart moods of Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura's teachings. And as if that weren't enough, you also read from my Guru Maharaja's wonderful book, Follow the Angels. It's truly wonderful and uplifting. And then, thank you, Champakalata. And then Neela, Dandavat Pranams, and Shripad Bhaktivinoda Sajan Maharaj is there, and Raseshwari Mataji, and Gandharvika Didi, and oh, sorry, 1 second. Sorry. Sorry about that. Okay, and Harold Wilson. I don't know who that is, but pronounced to you. Uh, oh, thank you, Prabhu. I'm so happy. Haribol Prabhu. Jai Ho. Thank you, Prabhu. And Champak Mataji, Rohini Nandan Prabhu, Shasharmaji, and so many other devotees. Dandavat pranams to all of you. Also pranams to all the devotees watching in the future, like Shachi Devi, Jayadev Prabhu, Krishna Vallabha Didi, Ananda Pradayani Didi, Anuradha Mataji, and everybody else. Madan Gopal Prabhu, and so many other devotees. Thank you so much for joining, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow and many days ahead going through all these songs of Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura. Always let me know if you have recommendations for people I should have on to speak about these songs of Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura. All right. Jai Ho. I hope you all have a very wonderful, beautiful, auspicious recharge today that will last throughout the entire year of this Gaurābda 540. All right. Haribol. Is there anything anybody wants to mention before I end the stream for today? All right. Dandavat pranams, everybody. See you all tomorrow. Haribol.